Hello everyone, this is the 7th video in a short series on how to use the character tool in Wayfinder bot to play Pathfinder over Discord. And this is going to be a kind of odds and ends video, hitting on some stuff we haven't gotten to yet, and then getting into what happens when our character gains a level. So the first thing we're going to do is, when we created our character and we gave them their first sort of wave of features, there was some stuff that wasn't in the character tool, namely her low light vision and animal order. So we are going to add those to our features. So there's a couple ways you can do it, but they're all going to start with adding a custom entry. So down here in features, under the feats menu, we are going to click the little plus sign to add a custom entry. And we're going to click our now very familiar little green pencil guy to edit it, and you get this blank sheet. So there's a couple ways you can do this. It is not always guaranteed to work, but you can paste these directly in from the archives of Nethys, because this is what the character tool is linked to. So as I have up here already the rules for low light vision, and we can actually try to see if this works. So we can grab this entire URL here, and we can copy it, and go back to our character, and we're going to go down to this last menu here, this last box here that says source URL. We're going to paste it in, and we're going to hit this sync data, and didn't work. This is not always guaranteed to work. It's not a perfect system, so we're going to have to do this by hand. Thankfully, this is pretty easy. We're going to give our feature a name, so we're going to call it Low Light Vision. And then we're just going to grab the text of the rule here. And we're going to copy it, do our little Control-C, and then in description we're going to paste it. And when you have something in there, it's going to create that nice looking little card for Low Light Vision. So we can close this, and now in our features we have our entry for low light vision, and when we hover over it we get that nice little card explaining what it is and what it does. And we're just going to repeat the same process for our animal order. So we're going to click our plus sign, and we're going to go, I like this site, this is called the Nethys search. It's a little easier to search the archives, and we're going to look for animal order, and it looks like there isn't an entry for it, so we're going to have to make this all by hand. So we have our blank entry down here. We're going to click edit, and we're just going to give it a name, the animal order. Under our description we're just going to say it's a druidic order. And close. So, not really helpful from a rules point of view, but whatever, the entry is there. So that is how you create a custom entry, and you can try, if you find something on archives that is not in the character tool and you want to add it, you can try adding that URL. It's not guaranteed to work, as we saw with our low light vision, but when it does, it's quite nice. The next thing we're going to do is raise our character's level and make some adjustments. So how you raise your level is you go back to our configure your character, where your character's name is going to be. And you want to find the level entry, which is right here. And anytime in these menus, when you pick something with a number, you're going to get this menu here. You can pick a static number, so you just click on this to set it to whatever number it is. The plus and minus increase or decrease it by 1, and this little trash can sets it to a null value. And it's kind of important to remember that a null or blank value is not 0. It just means it doesn't exist. So, null and 0, two different things. Let's set our character to level 4. So what you can see is that all of these things have updated, and I've done some of the updating myself. This is not automatic, where it says Fortitude is expert and Perception is expert. You have to change these by hand. These will not update when you raise your character's level. So again, you're going to need some kind of plan ahead of time that tells you what training levels you have in all of your aspects. And you can also see that I gave her expert level in nature, as all good druids should. Now, as you gain levels, you're going to see that all of these modifiers increased on their own. So it does calculate your proficiency bonuses by adding your level and level of training into it. So very quickly, we are, again, because I have this planned out, obviously your plan is going to be different. We're going to grab all of the new stuff that Tess gets for levels 2, 3, and 4 from our importer. So she is getting Reach Spell and Recognize Spell as a skill feat. And that's it for level 2. For level 3, she is getting Train Animal as a feat. And then she gets some features for being a druid, so she's going to get Alertness, which looks like we'll have to add on our own because it's not in there. She's going to get Great Fortitude. Also looks like it's not in there. I believe all Great Fortitude does is I believe all those do is raise your Perception and Fortitude to expert, but I will have to double check that. And then for level 4, we're going to give her Elemental Summons, and as a skill feat, we're going to give her Experience Tracker. And we can close that. And that is everything. If we go back down to our feats menu, we can see all this new stuff in there. And we can see that Reach Spell requires an action. Recognize Spell is a reaction. So all of this stuff is added, and we can look up the rules for it just by hovering over it. The last thing we're going to do, as you gain levels, no doubt you're going to gain magical items. And you have to set items being magical in your equipment menu by editing the item itself. So let's say that Tess gets a +1 spear. We're going to click our edit menu, and right here, you're going to see 2 drop-downs that say Potency and Striking. And these are the 2 kinds of runes you can add to your weapon. So we're just going to add a level 1, or +1 Potency rune. And we're going to rename this to a +1 spear. And one hitch on this is that it does not actually update the price of your item for having a rune on it, so you have to do that manually. The price of an item is down here under this miscellaneous menu with the little coin by it. And we know that a +1 potency rune costs 35 gold. Again, everything is done in silver, which you can actually change down here. We're going to leave it as silver. We know that 1 gold is worth 10 silver, so we're going to take that 35, multiply it by 10 to get 350, and add that to the price. So this is actually going to be 351 silver is now the value of this spear. And if we go into our little wealth menu, we can now see we have 400 silver worth of gear. We have this expensive-ass spear over here. And when you add that potency rune to your weapon, it's automatically going to be reflected in a strike tied to that weapon. And when we hover over it, we can see that we do indeed have a magic weapon +1 item bonus. You're going to do the same thing for armor, so if we were going to put a rune on Tess's hide armor, you would open it, and in the same spot where those 2 are, we have the potency and resilient rune slots. And that just about does it for raising your character's level and making those adjustments. In the next video, we are going to make Tessa's companion. Because she is an animal order druid, she gets a little forest creature buddy, so we're going to set them up. See y'all then.